Okay, now let's talk about articles. I know all of you are comfortable about articles. Okay, so what are the articles in the English language? We have a, and then we have the. Right. Now, a or an, they are known as indefinite articles, while the is known as definite article. Where do we use a or an? We use a or an before singular countable nouns. And we use the before anything which is specific or particular. It can be singular nouns, it can be plural nouns, it can even be uncountable nouns in this case. Okay? Okay, so now let's talk about the usage of a or an. Where should we be using a, or where should we be using an? Now look at these words: enemy, house, HEIR, HOUR, HONOURABLE, man. I want you people to write it down in your notebook as well. Or if I'm talking about words like European, country, or words like EWE, yeah? Or if I'm talking about words like useful article, or unicorn, or university, right? Or one-eyed man, 1 rupee coin, or words like MBA, year, and year. What about enemy? A or an? You've guessed it right. It's going to be an. Here is going to be a. But what about these words? HEIR is pronounced as air. So we are going to use an, and an. Why have I used an in this case? Because in these words, the H is silent. So we decide the usage of a or an based on pronunciation and not on the spelling. So it's going to be an air, H is silent, an hour, H is silent, an honorable man, H again is silent. So European country is pronounced as European. Right, so the pronunciation is there of Y. So we are going to use A. EWE is pronounced as U. Right, it's a female sheep. So we are going to use A. Useful article, again the sound of Y. So A, university, A. One-eyed man, so the pronunciation is of W, one. So we'll use A, What about MBA? So MBA, we'll use A. Why? Because we pronounce it as MBA. Right, but if somebody was a PhD, then we'll say a PhD, because in the case of PhD, the sound is not of a vowel, it's P. Year is going to be an. Year is going to be A. The pronunciation is year, Y-E-A-R, year. Right, we Indians pronounce it as wrongly, as ear. It's not ear, it's year. Please remember that. Okay, let's move further. Now, articles do not end here. It goes way further than this. In fact, some of the mistakes that we usually see are from the articles, and they remain unidentified. So let us look at certain other rules as well. For example, now we'll talk about the usage of definite article the. Let's talk about the usage of the definite article the. So as I already mentioned, we use definite articles before anything which is specific or particular. Where else do we use the definite articles? Before the names of oceans, rivers, mountain ranges, right? Islands, right? Canals. So before the names of these, we use the definite article the. So we'll say the Indian Ocean, the Atlantic, the Thames, the Nile. In English, Ganga is called as Ganges. So we'll say the Ganges, the Yamuna. Please remember, not mountain peaks, it's mountain range. So we'll not say the Mount Everest, we'll say the Himalayas, right? We'll say the Andaman and Nicobar Islands. We'll say the Bhakra Nangal project, canals, right? So please remember this. Okay, then we use the before things which are unique. What kind of things which are unique? Like unique things or events. So for we earthlings, the people of this earth, earth is unique. So we'll say the earth, the sky. What should we say? The ocean or an ocean? Please remember there's only one ocean. So I'll always say I'm going to the ocean. Different areas of the ocean are given different names. So please remember that. Events, the First World War, the Second World War, the recession of 2008, the Great Depression. So we'll always use the in this case, right? Then before holy books and epics, we will use the. So we'll say the Gita, the Quran, the Guru Granth Sahib, the Bible, right? Epics, we'll say the Odyssey, the Old Testament, the New Testament, the Ramayana, the Mahabharata. So before epics also we'll be using the. Okay. Now let's go further. So we'll say the rich need to care for the poor. Now what are these words? Rich and poor. They are actually adjectives. They are actually adjectives, and yet I'm not using nouns after them. Why am I not using nouns after them? Because when I use the, and when I say the rich, then I'm talking about all the rich people. So I've created a collective plural, a collective impersonal noun. So I'll say the rich need to care for the poor, right? So the poor, again, the strong need to protect the weak. So please remember that. Then before superlatives and ordinals, we will use the. Before superlatives and ordinals, we will use the. What is a superlative? The highest form of an adjective, the best, the most, right? Ordinals, what are ordinals? Order, which tells us the order. He was the first person to come in the class. He was the last person. He was the second person. He was the third person. So before ordinals as well, we'll use the, right? Then before musical instruments, we will use the. So I'm playing the guitar. I'm playing a guitar would be wrong. I'm playing a guitar would be wrong. But if a guitar is gifted to me as an object, then I can say a guitar has been gifted to me on my birthday. So please remember that. Okay. Let's go further. Right. Now we'll talk about omission of articles, or where we should not use articles. Where we should not use articles. So the common rules you already know about omission of articles. For example, we do not use articles before uncountable nouns and proper nouns until and unless we are creating a common noun from a proper noun, or we are talking about something specific when it comes to uncountable nouns. For example, if you're sitting at a dining table, you will say, pass me the salt. You will not say, pass me salt. Why? Because at the dining table, you're referring to a specific object which contains salt. So please remember that. Okay, now let's get into some better rules. Now, when we talk about meals, we do not use articles. I've had breakfast, I've had lunch, I've had dinner. But then, if I'm using an adjective before meals, then I can use article. So the structure in this case would become this one. So I'll say I've had a delicious meal. I've had a delicious lunch. I've had a homemade dinner. I've had a tasty dinner. So in that case, I can use articles. Now look at this one. I love English. And then if I'm saying, I love the English. Which one is correct? The first one or the second one? It's actually both the sentences are correct. So we do not use articles before language. But if I'm talking about the native speakers of the language, we can use articles. So today I met a Japanese. So we are not talking about the language, we are talking about the native speakers of the language. So please remember that, right? Now look at these nouns. Now if I'm talking about school, hospital, bed, place of worship, or for that matter, prison. Right? Now, if these places are used for their primary purpose, then we will not use articles before them. So the key word here is primary purpose. So if I'm saying I'm going to bed to sleep, but if I'm going to go there and read some magazine or play video games, so I'll say I'm going to the bed where I'm going to sit and play the video game. I'm going to school to study. But if your parents were to say, they would say, I'm going to the school of my kid. I'm going to hospital to get treated. Right? Now look at place of worship. Now what if I say, the devotees are going to the temple? And if I'm saying, the tourists are going to the temple. Out of these two, which one is correct? You guessed it right. It is the second one, because the primary purpose of devotees is to worship. Right? So the devotees are going to temple. Right? So if I'm saying I'm going to prison, that means I have been jailed. But if I'm going there to visit somebody, I'll say I'm going to the prison to visit this particular person. Yeah? Okay. Now let's move further. Now let's talk about the repetition of articles, or where should we repeat articles or where we should not repeat articles. For example, I have a black and white dog. I have a black and a white dog. Now, what's the difference between these two sentences? Yes, you guessed it right. I have a black and white dog. In this case, I have only one dog. So here the two adjectives are being used for the same noun. Now if I'm saying I have a black and a white dog, so in this case I have two different dogs of two different colors. So if I'm using the two adjectives for two different nouns, then in that case I should be using two different articles as well. So please remember that in this case we need to repeat it. Now why is this singular despite the fact that there are two dogs? Because the two dogs are being referred to by these two articles. Now what if I say I have black and white dogs? I have black and white dogs. So what are the colors of my dogs in this case, and how many dogs do I have? First let's establish I have more than two dogs. Yes? So I have more than two dogs in this case. And each of my dogs are of both the colors, black and white. Now had they been different, I would have said I have 3 black and 4 white dogs. In this case, the plurality of this noun is governed by these two numbers. Right? So please remember that. Unless if I have more dogs, then I would have said I have 3 black, 4 white and 5 black and white dogs. Right? So that is how I'm supposed to specify. So please be careful. Don't commit these mistakes in the exams. Okay. Now, look at this sentence. A painter and writer live or lives next door. A painter and writer live or lives next door. Which one would be correct? Live or lives? How many people are there? Painter, writer, there are 2 people or there are 1 people? We do get the impression that there are 2 people in this case because 2 nouns have been joined by and. But please remember, we are using only 1 article. So technically we are talking about the same noun. Since we are using only 1 article, so we are talking about the same noun. Therefore we will use singular verb in this case. So we'll say a painter and writer lives next door. Now, if we wanted to talk about 2 different people, then we need to specify. We need to add another article as well. Then I'll say a painter and a writer live next door. Then the noun will become plural. Now, similarly, when I'm talking about 2 different facets of the same person, then how will we write that? In that case, we are supposed to say or write, he is a better writer than painter. We'll not say he is a better writer than a painter. That would be wrong, right? Why? Because here, writer and painter are the 2 different facets of the same person. Similarly, we say the 3rd and 4th chapters, or we say the 3rd and the 4th chapter. 3rd and the 4th chapter. Now, 2 chapters of a book cannot be the same. 2 chapters of a book cannot be the same. So either I'll make the noun plural and then say the 3rd and 4th chapters by using only 1 article, or I'll use 2 different articles and keep the noun as singular. So I'll say the 3rd and the 4th chapter. So this was about articles. I hope you've understood. Yeah? Now you might have focused that during the entire class, we not only focused on rules, we also focused on the application of the rules. And how do we strengthen our application of the rules? Yes, you guessed it right, by practicing more and more questions. So let's substantiate the session by practicing a few questions. Yeah? What do you say that? What do you say to that? So you must have the sheet SCHO 3532001. So I'm going to write the number here, SCHO 3532001. Okay. Now what we are going to do is, from question numbers 1 to 40, we are going to attempt all the odd numbered questions. We are going to attempt all the odd numbered questions. So come on, let's work with me. Yeah? Let's look at question number 1. The army have besieged the city and are poised to launch an all-out attack at daybreak. So army here is a collective noun. So we'll say the army has besieged the city and is poised to launch an all-out attack at daybreak. Now let's come to question number 3. Even when we run the risk of losing our lives, courage makes us defend what is right and oppose what is wrong. So what are the mistakes in this sentence? Even when we run the risk of losing our lives, courage. Courage is uncountable noun. It's an abstract noun. So we'll say courage makes us, singular verb. Please remember, singular verb ends with an S. Plural verbs do not end with an S. So we'll say courage makes us defend what is right and oppose what is Wrong. Why oppose and not opposes? Because oppose is being governed by us. Us defend and oppose. So please remember that. Let's look at question number 5, everybody. In my youth, 4 dozens apples we discussed. So if a cardinal adjective is being used before dozen, then dozen remains the same. So we'll say, in my youth, 4 dozen apples cost just 50 rupees, but now they cost 5 times more. Yeah? Okay, let's look at question number 7. There are no machineries to resolve such disputes, and this has, in no small measure, contributed to the present situation. So what could be the correction in this case? There are no machineries. Machineries? Are we talking about the machines that we use in the factory? Of course not. We are not talking about machines that are being used in the factory. We are talking about machinery, a system, like the legal machinery, like the constitutional machinery, right? So here again, machinery is an abstract noun. So we'll say there is no machinery. I repeat, and please focus, there is no machinery to resolve such disputes, and this has, in no small measure, contributed to the present situation. Yeah? Now let's look at question number 9. Rickets are a disease that generally occur due to a deficiency of vitamin D. Rickets, we just discussed a short while ago. Rickets is a disease that ends in S, but then it's singular. So we should be saying rickets is a disease. I repeat, rickets is a disease. Now let's look at question number 11. When Catherine decided to adopt a child, her mother, who was in her early 70s, gave her an advice. Advice again is uncountable. So we should be saying gave her advice. I repeat, gave her advice. Or we can say gave her a piece of advice. Gave her a piece of advice. We can say that. Okay, let's move ahead. We resumed our work after a 10 minutes break. Right. So 10 minutes break, is that correct or is it wrong? Now there are 2 ways to write this particular thing. But before I discuss this, what do we say? We say friend of Rahul. So how do we shorten that by using the possessive case? We say Rahul's friend. So if I'm saying break of 10 minutes, how do I shorten that? I'll say 10 minutes break. So I'll say 10 minutes break. So I'll use the apostrophe at the end. Now there's another way to write this. I can write it as 10-minute break. 10-minute break. Now this is the adjective form. But right now, since we're doing nouns, I'm going to focus on the first one. So it's going to be 10 minutes break. Yeah? Okay. Let's come to 15. Raju's and Ravi's workshop. Now since these two are related, because they've opened their workshop, so we should be using only one apostrophe. So we'll say Raju and Ravi's workshop. That is just around the corner. Services motorbikes of all types. Yeah? Okay. Let's move ahead. So come on, attempt the questions while I rub off the board. Okay, I hope you must have attempted a few questions now. Now let's look at question number 17. The novel's first part is full of dense prose and delicately nuanced details. Novel's first part, we just discussed. We will not use possessive case for non-living things. So we should be saying the first part of the novel. The first part of the novel. Let's look at question number 19. The Prime Minister of Mauritius' speech at the summit of non-aligned countries was well appreciated by all the delegates. So what would be the correction in this case? The Prime Minister of Mauritius. So we need an apostrophe S at the end of Mauritius, right? So we'll say the Prime Minister of Mauritius with an apostrophe and then speech. So we need to use a possessive case in this case, right? Let's move further. Let's talk about question number 21. Many experts opine that Sachin Tendulkar is Bradman of the modern age. So, while Sachin Tendulkar is a proper noun, but is Bradman being used as a proper noun in this case? We just discussed, right? So, it should be many experts opine that Sachin Tendulkar is the Bradman of the modern age. So, we need the article the. Okay, let's move further. 23. Isabella, heroine of the novel, sets sail for India along with her husband Joseph. Is the sentence correct? I can see some of you have guessed it right. Heroine of the novel. So here the noun heroine is describing Isabella. So heroine is an apposition case of a noun. We just discussed. Tagore the poet, you remember? So we should be saying Isabella, the heroine of the novel, sets sail for India along with her husband Joseph. Okay, let's look at question number 25. The team could not win the match because it was split into two groups. It was split into two groups. Now this noun, team, which is a collective noun, here is actually behaving like two different groups. So we should be saying the team could not win the match because they were split into two groups. Let's move further. A band of robbers. A band of robbers have entered the village at night and have stolen the cattle. So what would be the case in this case? So band of robbers, a band of robbers, so I'm using a collective noun, band. So I should be saying a band of robbers has entered the village at night and has stolen the cattle. So I should be saying a band of robbers has entered the village at night and has stolen the cattle. Right? Let's move further. Let's look at question number 29. The proceeds of the charity show was distributed among the needy. The proceeds of the charity show. So what is a proceed? Proceed is usually something which is donated, right? So when we talk about proceeds, it's a plural noun. So we should be saying the proceeds of the charity show were distributed among the needy. Yeah? Okay, now let's talk about question number 31. For goodness sake, please avoid playing the music system so loudly at this time of the night. So what would be the case or correction in this case? Goodness sake? What about goodness sake? For example, if I'm saying goodness sake, conscience sake. So when we use the word sake, what does this word sake mean? It means kisi ke liye, for your friend's sake, for your parents' sake, for your brother's sake, for your sister's sake. So when we use the word sake, it means for somebody. Therefore here, the words like goodness or conscience or justice, they are being personified. They are being personified. So we'll say for goodness, apostrophe, only apostrophe. Please remember, goodness is not a proper noun. So we are going to use only apostrophe. So we'll say for goodness sake, right? So that's going to be the correction in this case. Let's move further. Let's look at 33. The management is looking for someone with a good knowledge of French and with 10 years experience in teaching. I know you guessed it right. We just did it. Yeah? 10 years. So the apostrophe is going to come after the S. So we'll say 10 years apostrophe. Yeah? Okay. So that's the correction in this case. Let's look at 35. Raju's statement betrays his lack of understanding of economics of the situation. Raju's statement betrays his lack of understanding of what does economics mean? Is it the subject that we study in English? No, it means the characteristics of the situation. So we should be saying Raju's statement betrays his lack of understanding of, and characteristics of any situation is going to be particular. So we are referring to particular characteristics. So we'll say understanding of the economics of the situation. By the way, you can judge, right, how my pronunciation is changing. So if a word begins with a vowel, we say the, and if it begins with a consonant, we say the, right? Okay, let's go further. 37. John goes to the church every Sunday, and the church he goes to is near the British Council Library. It's near the British Council Library. So what will be the correction in this particular sentence? So John goes to church every Sunday. Why does he go to church every Sunday? He goes there to worship, right? He goes there to worship. So we'll say John goes to church every Sunday, and the church. Now here church is not being referred to as a place of worship, just the location. So we'll say John goes to church every Sunday, and the church he goes to is near the British Council Library. Okay, let's move further. Look at 39. Although his means is more than adequate, he is not content with his lot. What will be the correction in this case? Now this is a tricky question. Yeah? What does the word means mean in this case? For example, if I'm saying his means of passing the exam is learning as much as possible by heart, right? His means is, if there's only one means, if there are more means, then we'll say his means are. So means can be singular and plural in that case. But here, means is being used as wealth. Means is being used as wealth. So we'll say, although his means are more than adequate, he is not content with his lot. So when means refers to wealth, we always use means as a proper noun. We always use means as a proper noun. Okay. Turn the page, everybody. Okay. Now you can see we have 15 questions here. Now the questions that we just practiced, in the exam you're not going to get questions like these. In the exam, you're going to have options when it comes to the questions. You know, options just like the questions that we have here. So here we have questions from 1 to 15. Let's quickly go through these questions as well. Right? Okay. Do you want to look at the questions? Okay. Okay, have a look. Dash Taj Mahal is in Agra. So what is going to be the case in this case? An, a, the, or no article. So we are talking about something particular. So we'll say the Taj Mahal is in Agra. So we are using the rule that applies to things which are unique. So we'll say the Taj Mahal is in Agra. See? Ganges is the longest river in India. So as we discussed before, the names of rivers we use, yes, you got it right, we use articles. So we and this will not be the case, we have to use an article. So we'll say the Ganges is the longest river in India. Right. Third, though he is dash American, he lived in Europe for most of his life. So what should we use in this case? Now American, as we discussed, right, so nationalities and all, we will use an in that case. So we'll say though he is an American. Why an? Because the word begins with the sound of a vowel. An American would be correct in this case. Now let's look at question number 4. Jane is dash European, but she married an Indian. So European, Y sound. So we'll say Jane is a European. Let's look at question number 5. UNO was formed on the 24th of October, 1945. So what would be the correction in this particular case? So we'll say the UNO, United Nations Organization. So when we are, even when we are using abbreviations, we should follow the rules of grammar. So we'll say the UNO was formed on the 24th of October 1945. Okay. Okay, now let's look at question number 6. The minister said dash can't be granted to the criminally inclined. So which word would fit into this case? Grant, community, sensibility, immunity. So what would be the correction in this case? So we'll say the minister said immunity can't be granted to the criminally inclined. So community, sensibility, these words wouldn't fit into the case. Now, I could have said, the minister said sensibility can't be granted to the criminally inclined. But then how can you grant sensibility to somebody? But you can definitely grant immunity to them. Given the dash, it is hard to predict the outcome of a diplomatic offensive. So what would be the word that would fit into this case? Circumstances, indifference, tendency, deterioration. Which word would fit into this? Given the tendency, it is hard. Given the indifference, given the deterioration. You guessed it right. It's going to be circumstances. So we should be saying, given the circumstances, it is hard to predict the outcome of a diplomatic offense. Okay, let's look at question number 8. Football requires that a player outwit not one, but several dash. Who? Friends? Enemies? Teammates? Right. So when you're playing football, the team opposite you, are they your enemies? Of course not, right? So enemy wouldn't fit into this case. What about friends and teammates? Why will you outwit your own friends and your own teammates? So here the befitting word is opponents. Let's move further. Let's look at question number 9. It is said that circumstantial evidence is not incriminating if the accused has an dash, accomplice, oxymoron, addiction, alibi. Let's first look at the meanings of these words. What is an oxymoron? When we use two contradicting words together, then that is an oxymoron. For example, it's an open secret. It's a deafening silence. So basically, we use oxymorons to emphasize. What is an alibi? Alibi is a circumstance that you produce in any court or in front of anybody else, any other person of authority, to cite or to give proof about your presence at some other place when certain other evidences show that you're present at one other particular place. So that is the thing. Now here it says, it is said that circumstantial evidence is not incriminating if the accused has an alibi. So it should be alibi in this case. Yes, you guessed it right. Why would it be alibi? Because let's say the circumstances show that this person might have committed the crime. But if the person has an alibi or proof that he was present somewhere else, maybe in some other city or some other country, then in that case, the person cannot be accused of the crime. Let's look at question number 10. The cricketer refused dash to the authorities investigating the scandal. The cricketer refused cooperation to the authorities investigating the scandal, right? Okay, now let's look at question number 11. The center for dash is where they see old patients. So what would be this thing in this case? Psychiatry is when you talk about diseases of the mind. Pediatrics is where the children are actually treated. Orthopedics is where the bones and all are actually treated, right? When you have problems related to bones, then you are treated. So we are talking about old patients, so we'll talk about geriatrics. So we'll say the Center for Geriatrics is where they see old patients. 12. To his dash, they turned down his request for an extension of the deadline. To his delight, consternation, justification, satisfaction. Now see, the word consternation is a tough one. Take it up. Now, if you have made a request and it has been turned down, now I'll show you the power of elimination. Will you be delighted if your request has been turned down? Will it be justified? Will it be satisfactory? Of course not. So you can see options 1, 2, and 4, they don't fit into this case. So we'll go with option 3. To his consternation, they turned down his request for an extension of the deadline. So what does consternation mean in this case? To someone's dismay, to someone who is, to someone's anger. So that is what the word consternation means in this case. Let's look at question number 13. Gorillas cannot survive in a zoo. They cannot get unused to their wild habits. Habitat, habitation, humility. We are talking about survival, right? Surviving in a zoo. Zoo is different than surviving in a jungle. So jungle here is the, you guessed it right, it is the habitat of the gorillas. 14, the theory is an dash of my earlier thesis about the relation between dynamic processes. What is it going to be? Explication, exposition, excommunication, expression. So what would be the befitting word in this case? It is going to be, yes, it is going to be explication of my earlier thesis about the relation between dynamic processes. The popular dash is generally far from reality. Proposition is any kind of a theory. Conversion, when you convert something. Protection, perception. So what would be the befitting word in this case? The popular perception is generally far from reality. Right. Okay. So we've attempted quite a number of questions. Right. We have attempted quite a number of questions. Okay. Let's move further. So we still have a few minutes with us, right? So let's attempt a few more questions. Let's do the even numbered questions. Let's at least do 3 even numbered questions. For example, if you look at question number 2, the issue remained unresolved as the committee was divided on several points. What would be the correction in this case? Now, we are saying the committee was divided. Divided means people had different opinions. So we'll say the issue remained unresolved as the committee were divided on several points. Right. Let's look at question number 4. I visited the local Air Force base on Saturday and saw as many as 20 fighter aircrafts take off and land. Aircrafts, we just learned a while ago. Aircraft is the same in singular and plural. So we'll say as many as 20 fighter aircraft take off and land. Let's look at question number 6. The media provides information which are, media here is uncountable noun. Media here is uncountable noun. So we should be saying the media provides information which is relevant to the citizens of the country. Okay, let's look at question number 8. The binoculars was gifted to me by my uncle on my birthday last year. So binoculars. So binoculars is always plural. Why? Because it comes in pairs. Here we are using bino. Bi means two. So the binoculars were gifted to me by my uncle on my birthday last year. Yeah, you got that right? Okay, now let's look at 10. All his meager savings was exhausted to meet his medical expenses when he underwent a heart surgery recently. What would be the correction in this particular case? Think. So savings can be of multiple kinds, right? Fixed deposits in your bank, it could be investments elsewhere. So savings is always plural. So we'll say all his meager savings were exhausted to meet his medical expenses when he underwent a heart surgery recently. Okay. So I hope you must have learned quite a great deal of grammar today. Thank you, everybody.